Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time, thanks for checking us out. Today we are installing some Falcon 3.3 PiggyBack Shocks, and oh, I've been waiting for this. So we put a 2-inch Mopar lift on this thing, and we did not upgrade shocks, we just rolled with the Rubicon shocks, and well, we need some shocks on this thing. And we have a few decisions to make. So follow along. Here we go, let's get started.
So now it's decision time. So here in Snazzy, we got the fender all opened up and the shock's gone, and yeah, I had like that much down travel left in my stock Rubicon shocks that came in the Willys. And now I have to make that tough decision. Well, let me show you. So in order to figure this conundrum out, I ordered some new brake lines, but that really doesn't help me out with this wheel sensor line that runs down through here. So I have to figure out a way to make that a little bit longer. But, oh hey, get me the Terraflex box, the longer one. So I could just use the stock lines, because Terraflex makes this really cool add-on bracket here that just attaches to the shock at the bottom, and then it's got a hole that's specially cut for that sensor line and your soft line that runs through it. So I could run everything out and away, so it would run this way instead of down and behind the shock. It would run on the outside of the shock, and then this would hold it. And I've just picked these up on Amazon for like 25 bucks. So this was a win. And they even send you zip ties and everything. So I think on Amazon, this bad boy was listed for a JK, but it's the same part for an LJ or a JL or a JK. So, hey, stay tuned. We'll see what we do. Can't wait to figure it out. So down here where all the brake connects, you got this sensor line for the wheel speed sensor, and you have your actual hard line, your soft line for the brakes, and everything connects up here. You got your hard line, then you got your sensor line that runs down here, and out of this bracket, this travels to this bracket, and everything that's slack over here is just for you turning the wheel left and right. Your down travel is the extra brake line between this and up here. So these stainless steel brake line kit that I got, it's from PowerStop. I ordered this on extreme terrain, and it wasn't terribly expensive for 4 brake lines. I was going to order the Rusty's ones, but they took a little bit longer to get here, and they were like $10 more. But the Rusty's ones, it's a lot easier to get the clips off of them from what I've seen online. So these things are just gigantic. Look at how big these things are. So when you order these things, you got to make sure that you get the right ends on them. So if you have calibers that are stock, non-heavy duty calibers, you need to order specifically for your vehicle. If you have the Rubicon heavy duty calibers, now I have a Willys and it had the heavy duty brake kit on it. And the way you can know this is if the back of the caliber, what it looks like if it has these vent holes in it on the top, or how low and how hard this bend is. So these are specifically made for a JL with heavy duty Rubicon or Sahara calibers. So, and those could be on a JL with a 30 or a 44, that the outside the knuckle here is all the same stuff. All the same crappy aluminum knuckles. Doesn't matter which one you get. Unless you get the extreme package, then you get a steel C, but not this time, just the aluminum one. So these are nice because there is movement on everything, and they do slide around a little bit. And we're going to hold it up here and see if this is going to work, or if it'd be better off just using the stock ones for now. Hopefully these work, and I can make them fit, and everything slides the way it's supposed to, and I get enough slack out of that ABS line. Can't wait to see if it works. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, we decided to go with the new brake lines because they're shiny. And if you do a little bit of custom work here, you can totally get this new speed sensor rerouted a little bit, especially down through here. Instead of traveling the front of the C, you can put down the back of the C, and then a couple of zip ties and just let it follow your new brake line. And I'm at full turn right now, and there's still plenty of everything. Now, I don't know if there'll be plenty of everything when we put it all together and droop this thing really far, but we'll find out together. Okay, let's go to the other side.
So we got the other side together. Now it's time to start throwing these shocks in. Gosh, these things are gorgeous. Look at them. Man, I really like the way these things look. And they just slid right in. There wasn't a ton. They're marked specifically left and right, and obviously the front and rear are a little different. You have to turn the shaft a little bit at the bottom to go with a soft or more firm ride. Obviously, this guy wants the soft ride, so we turned them that way specifically. Slid the bolts in. Now there's a little bit of an offset on everything. You just gotta line stuff up, and yeah, I may have peeked the directions a little bit, but they went in, no problem. Now we gotta make those fenders fit. And this is the beauty of having cheap Amazon fenders. These are the hook and road front fenders. Now, one day we're gonna throw some really nice fenders that wrap around these kind of shocks so that you can see them. Because, you know, that's part of the deal. You know, you put these expensive things on, you want people to see them, right? But today, we're just hacking the Amazon fenders up. And it wasn't a long process. You just gotta have the tools to do it. So everything went together pretty easy. A few measurements, and it wasn't hard to rip them things down to where they needed to be. And then it was time to get the rear done. Now, I ran out of daylight, so I kind of stopped filming, but my rear, I have road arbor fenders, and I did have to trim a little bit of them, just so I can turn that knob to adjust the fast setting on these PiggyBack Shocks. But these things went together real easy too. Just make sure the offset at the main shaft, turn it the right way so you get that soft ride, and button them up. There was nothing to it. Last thing left to do was to install some sway bar spacers. And as you can see, that sway bar is oh so close to these brand new shocks, but it doesn't touch. Now, is it going to touch at full droop when one side's stuffed? We'll see. I hope not. The only other thing left is to add a drop bracket for the rear track bar and loosen all the bolts and drag the gas tank over a little bit so at full droop, when one side's stuffed, the drive shaft doesn't hit the gas tank skid. But that's not a today project.
Alright, so post-install road test. I'm a big fan of setting number 1. Like, these crappy roads around here are like smooth as butter. So, is it a big improvement from the stock Ruby shocks? Yeah, it's like way up here. We didn't mess around with any of the custom settings in 2, and then setting number 3 is the sport highway kind of thing, and we can get on the highway. We put it on number 3 when we were on a washboard road, and yeah, we stopped immediately and switched them back to 1 because that washboard road was like butter. So right now we're actually going through the neighborhood, and they just put some speed bumps in here, and I'm sure the camera will catch that we're going up and down over speed bump, but it is smooth sailing. Now, it ain't a Cadillac. We're not riding around in some brand new Denali, but for a Wrangler, yeah, those Mormons hit a home run with the Falcon 3.3 PiggyBack adjustable shocks. I'm sold. I think every Jeep should come with these things on it. These things are amazing. So, in recap, front and rear, replace the shocks, extended brake lines, had to finagle the speed sensors a little bit to make everything fit, but everything worked out. A lot of zip ties and bending a couple of brackets on the rear, but everything's back together and seems to be working. Bled the brakes, went on a road test. So that concludes my review, and we'll ride around on these things for a while and come back in a few months and tell you what we think of them. Now, go anywhere, do anything.